ready to go.
Quiet on the set in 5, 4.
Welcome to the IHTN studios for Countdown to Tip-Off. I'm Grant Moranis, joined here by Tony Harris and Rob Young. Guys, let's look ahead right now. Let's get started tonight. Indian Hill takes on the Reading Blue Devils. The looming question for Indian Hill, senior night, the big senior Nick Heidel, ankle injury, is he going to play?
It's a great question. It is senior night. Every senior wants to play. That's what they play for. That's the highlight of their senior season usually. But in my opinion, the best thing for the team would be for Nick not to play tonight. Maybe start, pull him right out after the tip-off. Maybe let him get maybe one basket or something. But I think what's better for the team is for him to rest that ankle. Maybe not even play Saturday against Wyoming and get ready for the tournament, which we'll talk about later. But as much as we want to see Nick play, is he needed against Reading? No. I mean, we beat him, by 40-plus points last time. Take Nick out, so we only beat him by 20. It's still a winner. It gives some of the other guys on the bench that we're going to need late into the tournament an opportunity to play, and we need that playing time for them.
I think Coach Birch is taking this game very seriously against Reading. This is to win the championship. If we win tonight, we are league champions. We're playing with house money going into the Wyoming game Saturday night. So I think Coach Birch is taking this very seriously. If Nick is able to go, I think he will give him a chance to play and see how he goes. But the Reading game is very important. It'd be great to go into Wyoming game on Saturday, putting all the pressure on them, and having secured at least a share of the title tonight. And I think all the seniors will be pumped. George Davis has been playing phenomenal lately, and he'll get extended playing time if Nick can't make it. And I'm sure he'll be equal to the task. And there are a lot of seniors chomping at the bit to get some added minutes. But we'll see how Nick goes. I know he'll want to go, but what's in his best interests and what Coach Birch decides, I guess we'll find out here in a few minutes.
On the offensive end, the Braves also have Colin Shaw and George Davis, like you said, to fill in if Heidel can't go. But defensively, that ankle, if he can't go, who's stepping up defensively to stop Reading's Johnny Miller?
Well, the two defensive stalwarts for Indian Hill all season have been Dawson Eichholz and Marco Fiore. And Dawson probably has a picture of Johnny Miller above his bed and just ready to put daggers through him, and as he does with every high scorer in the league. So I'm sure Dawson's more than ready and equal to the task. Miller's about 6 foot tall, and Dawson's used to guarding guys 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". The one thing about Miller, and I know Dawson knows this, is that 64% of his shots this year have been threes. And so he's not a dribble driver. He doesn't make a lot of penetration. He just wants to shoot the three. Reading will set a lot of off-ball screens for him, and you've got to go above the screen, not go below them, and not give him the opportunity to shoot. He's very uncomfortable shooting the two. He just wants to shoot an open three, and I know Dawson already probably has him read like a book.
Reading coming off a loss to – who was their loss to?
Just about everybody they play.
Yeah.
Reading has a lot of issues. They have a very, very poor assist-to-turnover ratio. It's like a 0.6 assist-to-turnover ratio. Now, everybody strives for at least to be above a 1, and Reading has a 0.6. So they're very sloppy with the ball. So putting pressure on them and forcing them to make bad passes and allowing the Mateos and Collins and Marcos and all these guys to step in front of the passes and get some easy points, that's going to be very, very important. The Braves, on the other hand, have a 1.6 assist-to-turnover ratio, one of the best in the league. Wyoming's the only one who's challenged that, and the Braves take care of the ball. Coach Birch is adamant that they do that. Turnovers matter to him, and he takes taking care of the ball very, very seriously. So we want to get Reading to be sloppy. We want to take care of the ball. Hopefully there are going to be a lot of shots for a lot of players, and including the 9 seniors that are on this team. And hopefully it's a nice celebration this evening with clinching at least a share of the championship.
And, Birch coaches defense. That is his MO. Let's be the best defensive team on the court every night.
That
Dawson,
40-point mark.
yeah, that's his goal. Keep everybody under 40 points. He knows he's got enough shooters out there that he's going to score more than 40. And Dawson and Marco have done a great job. Look at what he did, those two did against the guy from Finneytown. That's a Division I prospect. They shut him down. Who was the redhead? The redhead that they made cry? From Amelia. 6'7" guy that Dawson literally made cry because he was so frustrated. And when Dawson wasn't on him, it was Marco. So those two, if they have if they have great defense, I mean, it could be a great defensive game for Indian Hill. They could feasibly hold Reading well under 40 points just with those two.
Reading does not have a lot of offensive weapons, so again, allowing Miller not to get off those three-pointers is a big factor. And Trent Purdue, who's their second scorer. The other thing is, if you take away Miller and Purdue, Reading is a very poor free throw shooting team. If you take away those two who shoot 55-60% from the line, the rest of the team shoots 45% of their free throws. So in my mind, you've got to play high pressure on Reading, force them to make turnovers, which they're very capable of doing. And if you foul, they're not going to really hurt you at the free throw line. So to me, it's a game that you want to play, you want to press, you want to go up and down, and give all 9 of those seniors as much playing time as possible. And if we commit some fouls, you're not going to get hurt like you would against maybe some other teams that are more proficient at the free throw line. And I see this a lot with a lot of high school teams. They don't shoot free throws very well. Reading doesn't do it anywhere near as well as most teams. But my theory is that so many of high school kids now invest a disproportional share of their practice time, unsupervised practice time, with trying to shoot threes and trying to dunk the ball, and don't invest it in shooting free throws, which is a very, very important part of the game. You're going to get a lot more opportunity to shoot free throws than you are having a chance to dunk or shoot, threes beyond NBA range. But a lot of these kids are 16, 17, 18, and that's where they have fun, that's where they play, and unfortunately, it doesn't help them when it comes to the game. So, again, 45% free throw shooting outside of their top 2 guys in Miller and Purdue. Again, hopefully we put some pressure on them, force them into 20 turnovers, and have a nice layup drill.
Well, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow. The Braves take on the Wyoming Cowboys at Wyoming. What does that game mean to the Braves?
I mean, it's a huge game. It always has been. That game was scheduled earlier in the season. Mother Nature helped us out because that historically has always come down to the CHL championship, except for a couple years when Madeira made a little bit of a run and stuff. But it's usually been Indian Hill, Wyoming. It's always been the last game. It's what's determined who the champion is. And we're going to be sitting, as long as the Braves take care of business tonight, that's where we're going to be sitting. And the worst case scenario for the Braves would be that they're co-champions. I don't think that's what the players want, and I don't think that's what Coach Birch wants. He's very focused on winning this CHL outright. I think for the school it'll be huge. There's a lot of smack talk between these two schools. Wyoming last year kind of swept the all-league trophy. Indian Hill seals the deal pretty much with a basketball, outright championship in basketball, because they got the football trophy, they got the cross-country trophy, they've got the swimming trophy pretty much wrapped up, tennis. So this will be this will kind of, so to speak, put the nail in the coffin. Who's going to most likely control the All-CHL trophy?
A heated rivalry for sure between those two teams. We were talking before we started the show. Coach Birch was more focused on the league than the overall record. Indian Hill lost to Loveland earlier in the week. He didn't seem too concerned about that. Like you said before, he's focused on winning the league.
Winning the league is the ultimate prize for Coach Birch and for this team. And again, beating Reading tonight will certainly be terrific. And the Wyoming game is going to be a big challenge. Heidel, obviously, his availability is real important, but the thing that Wyoming has that nobody else in our league has is they have 4 legitimate scoring threats. Most teams in the league have 1 or 2. They have 4. and your defense is exposed. And if you have a gimpy ankle, like Nick seems to have, and you can't cut and you can't follow, and you're going to get exposed on defense. And as good as Nick is as an offensive player, how much can he help if he can't play D? So, Wyoming will expose you because they have the 4 guys who can score. Lonnie Grayson is a terrific scorer, the reigning MVP of the league, leading scorer in the league, just a great player. And the Edmonds boys, both Joey and Jake Edmonds, great all-around players and really, really good shooters, unselfish players, and do a great job. And that Garen Prater has been electric against Indian Hill in the past, a 6'6" kid who can shoot from the outside and take you inside. And all right, you want to cut one of those guys off, there's 3 other guys that can burn you. So it's a major challenge. And without Nick, it becomes even more so. So it'll be very, very interesting.
And the first matchup of these 2 teams, Indian Hill effectively took Grayson out and took Prater out of the game completely. Joey Edmondson is a freshman. It was his first varsity game in his life. I don't think that's going to be the same Joey Edmondson that we see tomorrow night. I think if you look at his stats, he's consistently getting stronger and better as the season goes. So as Tony said, they've got 4 scoring threats. Jake is a great assist guy. I think he leads their team in assist.
Jake Edmonds, he does. He leads them in assists, but he can score.
Yeah.
And he has scored for them, too. When they try to cut off the other guys, Edmonds will score if he has to, but he's a terrific team player and does whatever it takes to win. They've got a great team. They're well coached. Joey's and Jake's father, Tim Edmonds, is their coach, does a terrific job. And, it's the top 2 teams in the league. It's Ohio State, Michigan. It's everything the game is sold out. If you're planning on going, you better find a scalper because there are only 750 seats at Wyoming's gym, and they're gone. So it should be a great atmosphere and should be a lot of fun. And let's hope the Braves go in there with already a share of the title come tomorrow night.
That'll be the key.
Let's fast forward again real quick. Regardless of the outcome of these games, the Braves already have their playoff matchup. They're taking on New Richmond as the 3 seed. Anything on that game?
Well, if the Braves are healthy and they play well, New Richmond ought to be a game that they can win. They have some time to rest Nick, to rest Colin Shaw, who's been an Ironman for Indian Hill. I mean, they're 32 minutes in a game, and if the game's close, Colin's playing 31 of them. So he could use the chance to rest his body a little bit, as could Dawson, who gives up his body willingly every single game, and and hopefully Nick's ankle. So if we're healthy, I feel good about the New Richmond game. And then if we beat New Richmond, we look up again, and there's most likely Wyoming to face again to advance into the state tournament. So we're going to see Wyoming hopefully quite a bit the next 2 weeks, so it should be interesting. These guys know each other very, very well. Most of the Wyoming players play football as most of the Indian Hill players do, so they know each other extremely well, and so it should be an interesting next couple weeks.
2 very familiar teams. The Braves better get their scouting reports ready. That game will be taking place at Mason High School on Tuesday night. As far as tonight, the Reading Blue Devils, the Indian Hill Braves, Indian Hill High School at 7:30, streaming live on YouTube on IHTN1. That does it for us here in the studio. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tonight.